Hey kids, Comic Book Man here with Bo Cephas. Do you know what I just heard, Bo?
What did you just hear?
Well, The Dark Knight just passed $1 billion in rentals.
$1 billion?
It's made $1 billion.
Is that more than people have bought hamburgers at McDonald's?
I think so. Anyway, when's the next Batman film coming out? If it made $1 billion, they got to have the next one coming out like next year, right?
Well, the fine folks at Warner Brothers are not doing a Batman film without Christopher Nolan, and Christopher Nolan said, I won't be getting around to Batman until 2010.
2010? What are we supposed to do till then?
Well, you can always read some trades or come into the store and buy some Batman comics.
Good idea. Speaking of which, you should go down to your local comic book store, like, say, Alternate Reality, okay, and pick up any one of the hundreds of Batman trades we have. Now, if you're a younger member of the viewing audience, you might want to pick up this, or mom or dad pick it up for your little one. Batman Strikes. It's the adaptation of the cartoon series that was out a couple of years ago. The series is over with now, but there are trade paperbacks out that collect the stories. They're perfect for young readers. Well, what do you have?
If you happen to be an older reader, in case Christopher Nolan decides at some point to not come back to the Batman series, Watchmen director Zack Snyder has been rumored to be working on a film version of The Dark Knight Strikes Again from Frank Miller, because he and Frank Miller hang out together and they actually share coffee every once in a while. It's much darker than any other Batman story you're going to get, and even though there are rumors that they wanted Clint Eastwood to play an old Batman, Clint Eastwood is no longer acting. Gran Torino was his last acting performance, so you're going to have to find another old actor to play a retired old gray Bruce Wayne.
Clint Eastwood would have been great.
Clint Eastwood would have been great.
Now, if you're looking for more bang for your buck, you should pick up a copy of one of DC's many fine showcase titles, which reprints a bunch of Batman stories from the 60s in glorious black and white. Okay, each one of these books has at least 10 to 15 different Batman stories. All of them are from the 60s. All of them are in chronological order, and all of them are a lot of fun to read, believe me. Bo, what else you got?
Well, kids, you can always read Hush. Hush. It's from Jeff Loeb, who actually worked on Heroes this year before he got fired, and superstar artist Jim Lee, and it was a 12-issue limited series involving Batman and his friend Thomas Elliot, who turned into the evil criminal Hush at the end. It was a horrible, horrible thing. By the way, if you're reading comics now, you know that Tommy Elliot, also known as Hush, looks exactly like Bruce Wayne, who is... Batman happens to be dead right now, so people are going, hey, isn't this guy Bruce Wayne? Well, yes, but it isn't Bruce Wayne, something that DC will be getting into later on this year in their regular comic series. It's kind of amazing. Very well drawn. The story is actually pretty good, although the fact that they do the trick of introducing a friend of Bruce Wayne's from childhood that before this actually happened we've never seen before kind of kills the story a little. But it looks really nice. You'll go, wow, what great art.
If you want something a little less contemporary and something much higher end, you might want to pick up one of the many archives that DC does. DC has over 14 Batman archives currently in print. This one, from the first series, reprints stuff from the early 30s through the late 30s through the early 1940s. They also have archive editions that reprint 60s titles as well. This is color, unlike the showcases. They're color inside, a little more pricey, $39.95 to $49.95. But still, if you're looking for some really great Batman stories, you can't do better than going back to the character's origins. Or can you? What's the last one you've got there, Bo?
Last but not least, it's Batman Broken City by the team of Brian Azzarello and Eduardo Rizzo.
That's good.
Eduardo Rizzo and Azzarello also are working on 100 Bullets. And if there's ever an artist around whose style worked perfectly for Batman, it's Rizzo. His stuff is really dark. It's really, really contemporary. It looks really nice. And Azzarello is a master doing crime stories. And this is quality. And it's also not very expensive. This trade is only $14.99, kids. Look at it. $14.99. And it's got all these great little color pages in it. Wow. And the Joker's in it, by the way, kids. And you know, people love the Joker. And you just can't get enough of it.
And you know it's from DC, and you know all the good stuff comes from DC.
I wouldn't say that.
Well, okay.
At least as far as, you know. Well, Batman, though. Batman is probably the best character, and he's one of my favorite characters at the company.
So, if you're looking to get some fix for your Batman itch right now, because there's not going to be another movie for at least a couple of years, and if you want to get that itch scratched, come on down to Alternate Reality or your local comic book shop if you're not here in Chicago, and pick up a Batman trade paperback. You can't do better than reading the original print material that the movie came out of.
It's true. So long, kids.
This is Tim, Comic Book Man Davis.
I'm Bo saying goodbye. I'll see you guys around. I'm gonna watch Dark Knight right now.
See ya. Come on, where is he?